What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on Black Ops 6 Zombies. We're here on the Tomb, and this is going to be yet another new player guide to survival. This is the final map that I need to cover until Janus Towers is released in Season 5. And if you guys are unfamiliar with this series, I've already done the other 4 maps, or I guess I should say 3. Is it 4 maps? I can't remember how many maps we have right now. The other 4 maps, I believe. And this is the final chapter, right? So what I do for this is we go through all 31 or the first 31 rounds. I show you guys what I do, when I do it, why I do it, all of the above. That way you guys have a better idea of the strategy of the map, what upgrades you should be getting and when, what side quests you might want to do in order to prioritize your upgrades or get them faster. And every map is obviously a little bit different. So first step is we are using the CR56A Max. A lot of the runs I did use like a very starter build. For this, I'm actually going to choose to use my favorite weapon in the game, which is the A-Max currently. I will leave the build in the pinned comment down below for those of you interested in what you guys should be running on it, or if you guys want to run my build. But I feel like even if you're a new player, you have access to the armory at some point, you should be able to get this unlocked pretty early on. Or you might even already have it unlocked. I mean, new player is a pretty broad term, and I think it probably applies to a lot of people. Some of you I know are like limited in what maps you play, so even though I'm calling this a new player guide to survival, you might just be a new player to the Tomb exclusively. But obviously here, we're going to stay in this first area. Honestly, you need quite a bit of points to open up all the way to the Dark Ether, which is where our Pack-a-Punch machine is going to be and where we're going to want to make it for our objectives that are currently on the screen. So we're going to hang out here. The first 7 or so rounds are pretty chill. On round 8, you're going to see your first Shock Mimic, which is the special for the map, as it is going to be here to drop us the first part, the monocle, which is used for the Easter egg. We're not doing the Easter egg in this run, so that's not important. And we're not going to be building the ice staff in this run, so not really something that we're going to, want to utilize. Now, I got to say, this is probably one of my favorite maps to play, just progress-wise, because of how the upgrades actually work. You're going to get upgraded faster on this map than any of the others. The closest map to this is Liberty Falls, and that's because you do have access to the rooftop Easter egg, which gives you a rarity tool, which is pretty nice. But this, we're not only going to get a free rarity tool, we're also going to get a free Pack-a-Punch upgrade, which is awesome for building up points, right? Especially if we get the upgrades and we're a little bit overpowered for some time, we can get that Pack-a-Punch level 2 quicker. We can obviously get our epic tool at round 11, or even get a rare tool earlier than round 11 if we want. Or we can even wait as far as round 21, I believe it was 21, where you can get a legendary tool. The only thing I really would say is you don't really need to wait for the legendary tool, and we'll kind of get there as we go. But I would think a safe place in this first zone, or a safe round to kind of hang out here till, is probably like around 6 or 7. You really just want to make sure you have enough points to get all the doors opened up. And on this map specifically, the doors tend to be a bit more expensive than you're used to on some of the other maps. So first step, take these guys down. At least wait through the first bug round, right? Everybody kind of has a different comfort level. And honestly, the different maps have different starting areas. So that's definitely something I think that can be considered. Not all starting areas are equal or the same. But I feel like this one's actually pretty good. Realistically, you could hang out here long enough to buy PhD if you wanted to, but that's not the first perk I'm going to grab on this map. Main focus, let's just get into the Dark Ether. Let's get Pack-a-Punch level 1, and we can kind of go from there. We're on our vermin round here. They spawn up there, they spawn over here, and then they spawn back on this wall as well. Pretty easy to deal with, though. The vermin rounds aren't too bad on this map. Now we're going to be into round 6. Get the max ammo, which is nice. Means we don't have to purchase any. There is a little Easter egg that you can do here with these generators by grabbing dead wire, but it only gives you a little bit of essence, so I don't actually think it's, the most worthwhile Easter egg, so I'm not going to be doing that for this run, but it is an option for those of you that are interested in doing so. And for this run, we will not be taking advantage of the golden armor, because I think for the regular everyday player, and honestly even myself, I don't even bother completing the golden armor unless you're going to go for like a high rounds, 200 plus, 3, 4, 500, maybe 999. I don't think that's going to be the most important thing to your run. Plus, a lot of my runs are designed to help you learn how to improve at the game, and I think having that will just kind of mess you up as you're relying on something that isn't available on all the other maps. Even though this is a new player guide to the Tomb, I feel like being able to survive on the Tomb without that is a good baseline, and then if you end up getting golden armor or making it a part of your run in the future, then you're just going to be even better, right? That's just the way that it is. Here, we're still focusing. This is another reason I really like this weapon, is the amount of damage that it does is pretty good. So we're able to actually hang out, not have to worry about upgrades or anything of that nature for quite a while. I think we should have enough points now to actually make it into the Dark Ether, but let's go ahead and finish that guy off. It's going to leave me with one zombie, and now we can open this door. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually jump up here, and if you would want, every round or every so many rounds, those things, the crystals here will keep respawning. You're more than welcome to keep shooting them, picking up salvage. I mean, honestly, if you focused on them enough, you could probably get an upgrade a little bit earlier than normal if you were going through each and every round, making sure to shoot those. As you saw, I did pick up the shovel there. There's some dig spots around the map. Sometimes I kind of forget where all of them are, but if there is a dig spot available, you can open that up. And in this case, we ended up with 2 things of salvage, so that's kind of nice. And then there's another dig site over here where it's a possibility to get even more. There's a lot of ways to get salvage on this map, so not only can you get a free epic tool on round 11, you can kind of go around the map continually shooting all these crystals and stuff, and even put yourself in an even better position in a much earlier round. Okay, we're finally here. We had enough points to actually make it in. And as you can see, even though I opened all the way through, I only have 3,700 left over. So we definitely used a lot of points to get here. I do know a dig site's here, so I'll open that up. Gave me an extra Semtex. I think there's another dig site over here. Is it over here? Yep, right here. That one gave us a weapon and a shock charge. I mean, you might not always get something that's useful in there, but at the very least, it's worth it as an attempt to try to get extra salvage. Okay, so now we made it into the Dark Ether. We need to do our free Pack-a-Punch crystal. You'll also get a free cryo freeze. First crystal there, or first rock there, second rock there. You look to your right, the 2 more are kind of in tandem with each other, and then the last one is the slower one, much smaller there to the back. This is going to take you some practice. I probably made it look extremely easy, although I don't think it's difficult if you don't know exactly where to look. It can be hard to track them fast enough, and if you don't shoot them fast enough, they obviously keep moving. Now at this point, we'll grab our raw Ethereum crystal, giving us free Pack-a-Punch level 1, and now we do have cryo freeze, giving us a free ammo mod, which is awesome. So now we'll go ahead and flip our round here, as we don't need to use cryo freeze yet to get our free tool. We're going to want to wait at least the next 4 or 5 rounds, so that way we can get epic. Well, now that we're in a good enough spot and the round started, I'm going to go ahead and get Jug. Jug is one of the most important perks in the game. Honestly, if you're not running Rampage Inducer, I get Jug first, and then I usually go for PhD and Quick Revive and Speed Cola, obviously prioritize from there depending on what map you're playing. But if you're not running the Rampage Inducer, you can definitely get Jug first, and it's not that big a deal. Like, PhD isn't as important when the zombies are significantly slower. But now, all we need to do is go through and eliminate them, aim for heads. Oh, we've got an insta-kill there? Well, it's not going to be much use to us, but I will try to save it in case we finish this round pretty fast. It is a short... What the hell? Back-to-back insta-kills? What is this? Hold on. Finish this guy off. We can grab the first one in a moment. That's kind of insane. You don't normally get 2 of the same on the screen at the same time. All right, insta-kill. Grabbed the first one. We did get our shock mimic there. It did drop the monocle, which I will pick up. I'm going to wait till the last second to pick this guy up, or close to the last second, so that way I can actually take advantage of it a little bit. I mean, it's not that important to have insta-kill this early on. We're just trying to save up some points so we can start getting some upgrades. Now, there is a free perk side quest on this map, but I already know that if I go down with 3 or more than 3 perks, the first 3 that I grabbed will end up being the ones that I keep. So I want to make sure that the first 3 that I get are the ones that I would like to keep. I don't want to pick up some random perk. So it's not worth me doing the free perk Easter egg before I get the first initial 3, because then I might get stuck, you know, with a perk upon going down and getting back up that maybe I don't feel like is the most important. You definitely want to make the first 3 perks that you get the ones that you feel like are most important to you. And obviously Quick Revive won't count if you're running the Dying Wish, because it'll go to the first perk slot and you'll lose it when you obviously go down, or when you're supposed to go down. So it won't be a part of the 3. Now, this is easily my favorite place to train the zombies on the map. There's not like a lot of great places on this map. You're going to get hit a lot using this route, but basically I've found it to be the most reliable. And obviously I'm going to actually, probably after this round, go get PhD. It'll make it a little bit easier. We can pretty much run this way, shoot in a straight line for the most part, and deal consistent damage because they're all going to path the same way. I'm going a little extra because we're not that far into the rounds yet, so we're doing consistently decent damage to stand in place. Basically, I run in a circle. I go around this over here, I come around this way. I go across the little bridge here. Sometimes they block you. If that's the case, I go around here and then I just climb up. I go over here. I start shooting at them here, and then I drop down here and I do the same loop over and over and over. It's the best way to train the zombies on this map that I've found, and it's easily the most reliable. We did get our vermin round here, so this is, in my opinion, a good round to actually go get some upgrades if you're trying to. So I'm going to go actually get PhD now that we're sitting on a decent amount of points. And honestly, because of the fact that I don't want to have to come back to this area, I'm just going to pick up the 2-plater as well. We're going to need it. It's going to be beneficial, and it at least gives us an extra layer of protection. So there we go. Got PhD, got the 2-plater, we got Jug. We're sitting with pack 1. We already got Cryo Freeze. Things are looking fantastic. And guess what? We're on round 10, which means our next round, we're going to be able to get access to our Ether Tool upgrade, which is going to put us in an even better position than we are already in. There we go. Should be able to eliminate these guys pretty quickly. There's only a few left. I don't know how far away they actually spawn when I'm, coming back to this area and then trying to leave it again. I feel like they're... Oh, nope, they're down here. They're way out of the way. There we go. We got the max ammo, and now we can make our way back into the Dark Ether. Another cool thing, it looks like some of our spores or the mushrooms ended up actually growing to purple, so we might be able to take advantage of some of those as well. But as you saw there, I shot the 2 waterfalls on round 11, not before, because I wanted it to be epic, and now we have epic rarity. You're probably wondering, why not wait to get the legendary rarity if it's only on round 21? Well, to be fair, it's because I think I can honestly possibly even get the legendary rarity sooner than that, just depending on the salvage drops that we get. I mean, we're like halfway there right now, and we're on round 11. So we only have to get 2,500 more salvage, and we can actually go and upgrade to legendary, and that's it. That's all we need. But we got a double points here, and because we're not running the Rampage Inducer, I'm going to do my best here to try to take advantage of it. Go ahead and grab this. Boom, just like that. And we should be able to start destroying the rest of these zombies for the double points that we are hoping for. Now, go ahead and shoot these guys in here. 3, hit it again. Spores are going to pop out. These guys can be kind of annoying to shoot sometimes, but there's always a chance they drop you something good. It's at least worth a shot. If you have the time in between rounds and you're looking for some free upgrades, they can definitely be a source. Go ahead and open up this guy. You can get some free perks in there from time to time. Doesn't happen super consistently, but definitely can happen. All right, got both of them again. Nothing good. And they will regrow around the area as the time goes by, but to be honest, I don't spend too much time doing these, but they can be helpful just depending on your scenario. Come on. Come on. Like, I'm trying to shoot it. Where'd it go? Dang it, I lost it. Well, that didn't work because the freaking zombies distracted me and I couldn't shoot it. The way it is sometimes. I should have waited until I have like 1 zombie left, but I wanted to hit a few of them just in case. Still in a good spot, though. We're able to take the zombies down pretty easy. They're not walking through my bullets or causing me too much trouble. I'm not even following my normal path. But we should be able to get through this round pretty quick. Do I have one more zombie? I do want to save 1 zombie, as we do have enough points here to actually make a few more purchases. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the green portal. Now, we might make a decision on getting this free perk. If you guys don't know how to get the free perk, well, you're about to learn right now, because it's going to be super helpful. And, like I was saying earlier, shoot these. You never know what might fly out of them. In this case, we could use the extra salvage. We're now only 1,500 away from getting our precious upgrade. But we want to come over here. We're going to go ahead and jump down, lay down, pick up our loose change, then get our upgrade there. And now we should be able to put ourselves in a solid position here. I actually forgot that I do need to go get a Molotov real quick. I'm pretty sure there's a free Molotov somewhere, and I don't remember where it is. So instead of trying to remember... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay. So all we needed was a Molotov, and now we should be in a good spot. But if you mess this up, it is a little bit unfortunate. So hopefully our zombie will be good to us. Okay, we threw it right at it. My goal, and you put your crosshair like right on the pipe. Oh, my controller... Stick drift just screwed me. Yeah, if you have stick drift, you're going to get screwed. You're going to try to aim right at the jar. It will give you 1 back in return. If you mess up, you're going to have to buy an extra one, and that's just is what it is. Try to stay away from this guy. Stay away from him. All right, throw it again. Boom. Dude, I wish you would slow down just a little bit. You're kind of annoying. I'm trying to line this up so we don't have to revisit this entire thing again. There's that. That blew up the crystal as well, which is not exactly what I wanted it to do. But I do have the 3 that I want, right? So this is why this is working and why I'm doing it now. And then we'll go like that. And then there's our free perk. So now, whatever our free perk is, just so happens to be quick revive, which is Not bad. I mean, it could have been cooler if it was something that was only available through the Wonder Fizz on this map, but at least we got the free perk. So free perk acquired, saved us a little bit of essence in the process. We did lose a little bit of salvage, but we're doing pretty good on that, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, I don't have a lot of extra plates to pull this off, but round 13, things are starting to pick up quite a bit. We're getting a significant amount. Oh, look at that. Amount more zombies. They're all coming through the pathways that I anticipate them to come through. Oh, look at that. Shockman got destroyed. And I can't even see with all of this blizzardry, but I feel like we're doing pretty good. Need some plates to be in here. Go ahead and get the insta-kill, get a couple of extra plates. Everything's working out just the way we hoped it would. So now, we have the 4 core perks. To be fair, I could hold on to these 4 and be good for quite a while. More than likely until we even get the Wonder Fizz. But we'll see how things go from this point. Maybe I'll go get some more of the perks that are available. But it's not necessarily a requirement for me. Okay, round 14, we're going to start seeing some specials. I'm just going to go ahead and target that guy off the rip so we don't have to deal with him. And then it's just back to the regular scheduled program here. We'll just start the training. I'll show you guys exactly the routing that I take. I don't even bother shooting off the rip because I just try to get them built up. Obviously, shoot at your own risk. If you guys are comfortable shooting them as they're still spawning in, go for it. But I don't recommend that because it gets a little bit easier to get pinned and caught up or trapped or whatever the case might be, and then you end up going down. We'll go across this. Obviously, there's going to be zombies in the way in some of the avenues that you take. But for the most part, you should be able to squeeze through with PhD and find some fairly consistent success. Now we just hang out here. You're going to get these guys going through. The longer you live, obviously, the more likely they are to kind of wander through your stuff, but we'll just get the nuke there at the end and finish off the round. Now, I could go ahead and get Pack-a-Punch level 2. I was thinking about that when we already had the points, but it's no longer in this space, so I don't really feel like I need to go out there and grab it. If you're at this point and you have the amount of currency that I have and you feel uncertain about, your weapon or your damage or anything like that, I think Pack 1 Purple's pretty solid for where we're at, but you can obviously, you know what I mean? You can obviously choose to upgrade earlier. I'm going to spend the points on this so I can actually fight these guys, but we will get a max ammo at the end, and I'll just wait for the Pack-a-Punch machine, honestly, to come back in here. There's no reason for me to leave my comfort zone when we have the most important things already. Like, we're going to get Pack-a-Punch level 2 before it's really, really, really becomes a problem. So we're going to have the damage we need. We're able to take on everything that we need to right now, and we're in a good spot. Round 1,000 away, 1,000 salvage away on round 15. Like, that's insane. Okay, finally got our max ammo, and now we know we're going to get an amalgam. This guy I'm focusing on because obviously he's a pain in the butt. Watch out, wait for the zombies to start spawning. Same strat, though. Squeeze through, keep on moving. I honestly feel like training the zombies becomes a lot easier if you run the Rampage Inducer once you get used to it, because the zombies end up just training a lot more consistently. Like, they're faster, they don't trap the areas off as much or cut them off as much, leaving you a lot more space to kind of squeeze through. Even though they are much faster, even though sometimes PhD feels like it's an absolute requirement to squeeze through the spaces, I feel like you do it in a lot better fashion than if you're, you know what I mean? If you're not running the Rampage Inducer. But obviously they're faster, so that can add a lot of challenge for some people, especially if you're still learning the map and the flow and the strategy in general. But there we go, focused on our amalgam, got him the heck out of our map, and now we just need to finish off the rest of these zombies here, and we're just kind of waiting at this point for the Pack-a-Punch to make its way back in. Shoot us another one of these mushrooms. It glowed purple for us, and we can go ahead and get Pack-a-Punch level 2. We're still sitting on 12,000 essence, so no concern on us actually running out of ammo anytime soon. And now, even more damage coming from us, and we're probably about this round away from being able to go legendary, and we're going to do that as soon as we can. We're probably going to make the trek out of here and get legendary after this round. Even though we kind of were hesitant on doing that for Pack-a-Punch, I kind of wasn't sure what round we'd have this available to us, and we have no choice but to leave for that specific upgrade. Maybe I'll save a zombie at the end of the round to ensure I don't have to deal with any, you know what I mean, horrible scenarios along the way. Okay, we grab that double points. I mean, there's not a lot of zombies left after finishing off the amalgam, but we want to at least get the most points for them. Take them all down. Give me the points in return. Do we have enough? We're going to have enough. I did kill my last zombie, though, so we're going to have to actually make the the run for it. Okay, we squeeze our way down here. We already know we're going for the rarity. We don't need an ammo mod because we already got one. PhD slide our way back to the portal, getting back to the Dark Ether where we're going to run our strategy to stay successful. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my other new player guides to survival, but I think one of the most crucial things that I usually focus on is just having one weapon. Having one weapon, being able to swap to my fist, being able to run around the map and be extra speedy is an insanely good asset, right? Like having two weapons and being able to switch to a weapon and having it slow you down dramatically is not my favorite. So you'll most of the time see me running fists as a secondary only and running with those out as much as I frequently can, right? Because we want to be fast. We want to give ourselves the best chance at survival. And having a secondary weapon a lot of the time is going to feel terrible as far as mobility is concerned. But this should be our last 5 zombies for this round, and we continue going forward. I mean, we're in a pretty good place here. We're going to be able to afford almost every perk that we could desire by the time it's available to us here. Okay, we did get another amalgam. We should be pretty decent on damage, though, for taking this guy out. Slide through. Make sure you're going to get hit, but as long as you have backup plates or, you know what I mean, you don't get hit too much, you'll be fine. We get the insta-kill there. We're going to make our way around. Like in this situation here, we're going to go like this. Stay to your strategy, because then you can pull all your zombies. You just got to know you got to get there kind of quick, because it'll eventually disappear. We're going to go this way, do a loop around. I do have 2 of these, so I'm going to throw it. You got to know, though, if you have a shock mimic on your screen, they will absorb any lethals or tacticals, so you're only going to want to throw those if they're not available. Go ahead and go like that, and a max ammo to carry us forward. Okay, we did get another bug round, so I'll probably make this the time to go for our 3-plater. Now, you see that right there? That's going to present a shock mimic. It's up to you whether or not you want to activate it, but if you kind of stay away from it, it won't pop up. Okay, 3-plater is acquired. Now we just got to run this way. You might get hit by a vermin or 2. It's kind of, you know, hit or miss depending on the scenario. But luckily, the vermin rounds are pretty easy, and being that we're as tough as we are at this point, it should not be that big of an issue for you. Obviously, they're kind of just, you know, flowing pretty straightforward to us, both sides. Guys down below, guys up top. That guy's going to be the max ammo. We have enough time in between. I'll grab the max ammo and then make our way back to our main location. Now, you could argue that you could get more perks at any point that if you would like to. There is the dead shot machine. You still have death perception if you're interested in that. You could do stamina. But for me, I prioritize my perks in the way that I feel like I really do need them. I just ran past that guy. Well, too bad he's dead. We got through those guys quickly. Getting those out as quickly as possible is definitely priority. But I like to be able to hang out in this area. We're going to get Wonder Fizz. I don't feel like a lot of the other things I need before round 25. I feel like it's just nice to have if you can, right? But not required. And the things that are required, we already have. But the other cool thing is, too, is the Wonder Fizz actually showing up in this location. We not only get to hang out in the area we plan on training the zombies in, we do have a crafting table here if we want to use it. We don't have to use an arsenal machine anymore because we've already hit Legendary. We already have an ammo mod, and we don't need to leave this area to get Pack-a-Punch. So getting Pack-a-Punch level 3, we can do that without leaving. Getting the rest of our perks, we can do that without leaving. So it's pretty straightforward process on the tomb because you get to hang out in the place that you're going to train the zombies for a majority of the match, and you don't really have much reason to leave this space. Plus, I'm not taking full advantage of them, but to be fair, if you're actually utilizing all of these purple mushrooms each time they grow, there's a pretty good chance you'll get some free perks out of them, and it'll just save you essence that you would need to spend. And by waiting 25 rounds for that to happen, you'll probably get quite a few executions out of them. I honestly avoid them for the most part, but if you want to min-max a little bit more, or just give yourself more opportunities at rewards, just go for it. The only, you know, thing that it'll hurt you on is time. It won't hurt you in any other way. Okay, we can go ahead and get the doppels out. Strategy comes in clutch again. I mean, to be honest, I don't think this map is all that challenging until you start getting going, right? If you're using the ice staff, that's going to be the easiest strategy of all time. Now that I've covered all the maps with new player guides to survival, would you guys like to see a new player guide to setting up for higher rounds where I could show you guys the strategy for each map? I've never really done a high round for Terminus, so that's one I would have to kind of learn the strat a little bit before I shared it, but I've definitely done, you know, my fair share of decent amount of rounds on quite a few of the maps. I mean, I obviously know the best strats for high rounds, but for me, I get the most enjoyment out of using weapons and going as far as I can. So there's not a lot of times where I use the high round strategy. Now, the reason I'm even mentioning that as a video type in general, because you would think, well, why wouldn't I be sharing that in these new player guides? It's because there's very strict like strategies that you have to run once you get to a certain point throughout the match, depending on the map that you're choosing. And you have to follow that strict strategy for the entirety of the run once you start it, going forward all the way through until you get eliminated, right? Like, you're not going to be able to use the A-Max and hit round 999. You're going to be going on this map specifically, grabbing the ice staff, and you're going to be executing a very well thought out and detailed strategy of just firing that thing at the ground the entire time while shooting out, you know, energy turrets as frequently as you basically can as your field upgrade. So I feel like there's probably a lot of room to still teach new players on how they can kind of push rounds further, and maybe just getting a better understanding of how the strategies work and why they are the way they are could help a lot of players. All right, we got to get through these guys. We're starting to get specials a little bit more often. Anytime you have specials or elites, try to make them your priority, especially if you're strong enough to get them out, because the sooner you get those guys out, the less of a pain the rest of the round's going to be. And honestly, in a lot of cases, the regular zombies might not be that big of an issue for you. So getting these guys out quick only increases your odds of survival. It's not always the case. If you're feeling like you're a bit underpowered, just make sure you keep as much distance between you and that enemy as possible. I mean, you should be doing that for the most part anyway, but I think it makes more sense. Oh, we can actually grab this. It makes more sense, obviously, if you're struggling to actually do damage. Just don't let them get close. They could easily ruin your entire round by grabbing onto you and throwing you into a pile of zombies and you just taking a bunch of hits all at once. Now, I do feel like I need to mention this because some people have mentioned it in the comments on previous new player guides to survival, but if you get streaks to drop, use them whenever you feel like you need to. If you feel like you need a panic button and you got a streak available, use them. Personally, at this current moment, I'm rocking a chopper gunner, and I'm going to hold that for the possible exfil because I know at 31, we're going to be looking to exfil, and I think it's a really good asset to have for that specifically. Otherwise, if you're going through your regular run, maybe you're trying to get your highest round ever, use your score streaks as you see them available. I'm just not somebody that regularly uses them, and it's not something that I, you know, make a habit for me in my specific runs. A lot of the time it's challenge-based, so they're not allowed. And in other cases, I just like to see what I'm capable of doing without, you know, relying on the score streaks themselves. Now, we do have ourselves a doppel. Trying to keep my distance. It starts getting a lot more chaotic as we progress the rounds here. We're now seeing multiple at once, but the strategy does not change. We are still going to hold down this. For some reason, too, it actually slows them down a bit to go across this bridge because they all can't go across it together, right? So they try, and it definitely slows them down dramatically. So I feel like that's part of the reason the strategy works as well as it does. I mean, I've done this with a lot of different weapons. I think I even did a run where I wasn't even allowed to buy perks, or maybe it was armor on this map, and I was able to utilize this strat to live pretty freaking long. So I'm confident that if you guys execute exactly what I'm sharing with you guys today, you guys will be just fine. Oh, we're going to go ahead and pick this up. Mutant Injection is your #1 score streak, if you didn't know that by now, especially when it comes to exfils, because it's most reliable on every map. When it comes to the Chopper Gunner, especially on Shattered Veil, I do not like the Chopper Gunner on Shattered Veil for exfil. The zombies just end up running inside, and it becomes pretty much useless and not a good thing because you have to wait for the zombies to then go back outside, and they're already too slow as it is. Okay, we're actually on round 25. I just noticed it switched. So what I'm going to do... Oh, it's a bug round. So it works out. We can actually just buy our perks. Let's buy everything except for Death Perception and Melee Macchiato. If you want Death Perception, that's on you, but I'm not going to buy it. I don't really feel like it's a viable... Not a viable. I don't think it's a very good perk. I feel like if you get it for free or you're already sitting on an abundance of essence, why not? But I'm saving up for Pack-a-Punch level 3, so I don't need to spend all that kind of essence at this current time on a perk that I do not care about. But at this point, now, I guess I could have waited till after this round to hit the Wonder Fizz if I wanted, but I feel like the bug rounds are probably one of the best opportunities. And if I really needed to, I could have just pulled the trigger on my Ether Shroud. But that's a quick and easy bug round out of the way. And now the only thing we're really saving up for is Pack-a-Punch level 3, which we know will make its way back in here pretty soon. So probably by the time it shows back up, we'll be in a place where we can afford it. And like I said, as these rounds progress, this gets a little bit more chaotic, and it is to be expected, right? But obviously, keep moving. Do not, do not stop. Obviously, stop to shoot, but don't stop like in complete action if you can. Kind of keep maintaining your progression in the direction that you're trying to head in. I mean, right now we're doing so good because of the double tap. We just gained so much power with that perk. It's kind of insane. Okay, we got the double points. I kind of want to go back and get it, but not at the cost of my life. I do also have Deadshot now, so if you're a controller player, start spamming because the time is now. And you'll probably end up getting through some of these zombies pretty quickly if you do that. All right, down here, time to get the double points. It's going to help us get our Pack-a-Punch even faster. I don't see any specials, so I'm throwing that. If you guys see the little electricity thing going on my screen right now, it's because it's letting you know that there is one of those items, like we had down here, that will spawn a shock mimic somewhere in the area. And if you get close to it, it will pop out of that item, and you'll have to deal with it, right? So if you don't want to deal with them, don't go anywhere near those items laying around on the ground. But for the most part, if you're just running this exact strategy, very few times you're actually going to end up making them pop out of their item. Like, there's usually one down here. I don't even actually know where this one is, but not in the path that we're normally taking, so I'm not super worried about it. Well, Pack-a-Punch is back, and guess what? We can afford it, and we have enough for ammo at least one time, so not really worried about running out of ammo. I am, however, going to spam this freaking amalgam in hopes that we can get it out of here. Oh, well, unfortunately for me, the zombies blocked my path. That's why it's so important to keep moving the entire time. All right, I'm going to get the parasites out of here so we don't get blasted while we're moving. Projectile damage is not my favorite. Spam these guys out of here. Like, these guys are going to die super fast right here. I don't even have, like, dead wire on, which is what I normally run. You can always switch your ammo mod, by the way, once you hit round 11 and get your free upgrade if you'd like, but I wouldn't recommend doing it before that because it's going to waste the free cryo freeze that you have. Yeah, see, like right now, this is an issue exclusive to not running Rampage. Most of the time, they're not this spread out in this area that I'm trying to walk in. Gotta finish off the amalgam. There we go. It's gone. Now we can find peace amongst the rest of these zombies here and not have to worry about it too much. Boom, just like that. Sometimes the amalgam, too, will knock down a big chunk of your zombies, and then they end up hanging out in an area you would not like them in for far longer than you want them to. We're at the point where we no longer need any of the upgrades, so that's a huge benefit to where we're at right now. Our weapon's as strong as it's going to be. We have all the important perks, except for Melee Macchiato and, of course, Death Perception, but we don't actually need those. Otherwise, though, oh, there's a shock mimic popping out of its thing. The only thing left for us to do is just survive these next few rounds, and of course, I'm going to run you through it because I said we'll go to 31. Previously, I was trying to go until at least the weapon and stuff was all max upgraded, but I feel like 31's a good set of rounds, especially to get you guys in the door. And I am 100% confident that if you guys execute the strategies that I'm teaching you in these runs, you guys will live far beyond round 31. Obviously, adding the Rampage Inducer to the equation might make things a little bit challenging for some of you, but enough practice and you'll be doing the exact same thing as I do in my runs in yours as well. Now, as you progress the rounds, it's going to get more and more chaotic. I still think it's easier to do this with the Rampage Inducer on because the zombies, stay more grouped together. But PhD at this point is going to be your best friend. If you're not sliding through the zombies, you're probably not going to make it. And earlier in the rounds, it is way better to build up as many of them as possible, like I've said in a lot of the other runs, and then start firing and then trying to shoot them as they're spawning in because they're going to be a lot more unpredictable. At least in this way, I kind of have control over where they're spawning in. And I do really need that max ammo. I'm going to throw this. Hopefully there's no shock mimic. It's going to destroy that, and we'll be able to grab this. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We're in a great spot. But that's going to keep you from getting trapped a lot easier. Just making sure that majority of the zombies that are in existence are coming from the direction in which you are running from, not which you are running to. Sometimes they will spawn in a lot in the direction you're running to, but a lot of the times that's like during something like this where you're eliminating a huge chunk of zombies at once, and there's still a lot of them to spawn in, or you hit a nuke earlier in your round, and now they're all just kind of spawning everywhere. Our last and final round before exfil ends up being a freaking bug round. Look how cool this map is, though. I think people hate on this map for the wrong reasons. Like, does it have deep story? No. Are the cutscenes great? No. Was the boss fight super exciting? I mean, after everybody got the strategy down, I don't think it's that cool, but it was one of the toughest boss fights that we've had on release of it in the entirety of Black Ops 6. So gotta put respect where it's due. It was very unforgiving, to say the least, but I think this map is really cool. And I personally like the ice staff, so it wins a little bit more points there for me. But outside of the Easter egg itself, I think this map's pretty dang fun. I'm guessing this is my final guy. Yeah, this guy was like lagging or something. He was way behind. All right, so now we're in a good spot. We have our mutant injection, which eventually dropped. If you're a high enough level, obviously at this point, you might have the currency in salvage to actually purchase a mutant injection, which you could always do as well. Then you head in through here. You're back on this side, and you can now activate the exfil. The coolest thing about this map, though, this is where you're exfilling, right here. So we're already exactly where we need to be, which is not common. 35 zombies. We're about to show you why I like this mutant injection. We're about to show you exactly why we like this mutant injection. We're going to run around for a second, get these guys a moment to spawn in. I'm actually going to throw a decoy right now. They're all going to start wandering into the middle here. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this mutant injection right now. And they're all going to run right at me. Look at this. 35 down to 14. 21 of them died instantly. Why would you choose any other streak to exfil with? You wouldn't. They all just die instantly. One of which is the amalgam left over. And we're going to easily deal with this guy. 6 left. 5 left, 4 left, 3 left, 2, 1, and where's the last guy? Oh, where is he? Is he the slowest zombie of all time? Am I blind? Nope, it's a vermin. There it is. All right, we're ready to exfil just like that. No reason to use anything other than a mutant injection unless you don't have one. But that is the new player guide to survival here on the Tomb. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this one as much as you guys have the others. And I will be doing one of these for Janus Towers within, I think, the first week or so of its release. But that's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!